Hello everyone. Today I will tell you about a film where a lonely girl became the target of local bandits, and it's a movie called I Spit on Your Grave.
Get out of here right now! I called the cops.
Oh, she called the cops.
Jennifer loves to write books, but the fast pace of life in a big city does not allow her to concentrate on books. To solve this problem, she rented a house deep in the wilderness. Jennifer comes to the man Earl, who must give her the keys. The road to the house is very confusing, and Earl explains how to get there.
The cabin's a real beaut, but heck, there ain't another for good country mile.
Even knowing where to go, Jennifer got lost. She stops at a gas station to fill up her car and ask three guys where she can find her home. Johnny points the way and decides to offer some compliments. Jennifer was not going to look for a boyfriend, which is why she became embarrassed and accidentally pushed Johnny away. After a while, Jennifer arrived home. Having laid out her things, she goes to explore the territory. Next to the house, there is a garage completely covered with tools and cans of chemicals. Jennifer is very clumsy and spills wine on her clothes, and while she was washing off the stain, someone was watching her. A new day is coming. Jennifer loves to run in the morning, which is why she finds an old abandoned house. Having examined the house, she finds no one and runs back to the lake. After talking with the plumber, Jennifer accidentally drops her phone into the toilet, because of which she lost her only way to contact the outside world. The plumber's name is Matthew. He suffers from mental illnesses, but still he does his job well. As a reward, Jennifer kisses him, greatly embarrassing the guy. Later, Matthew meets up with a group from the gas station. He reveals that he was at Jennifer's house while Stanley shows the recorded video. The men make fun of Johnny because he tried to meet Jennifer, and in the end, it was Matthew who got the kiss. Feeling humiliated, Johnny begins to think through a plan of revenge. Late at night, Jennifer is awakened by a loud noise. Going outside, she sees that for some reason the door to the barn is open, and upon returning home, a photograph of men was already turned on her laptop. The trio appears and forces her to drink vodka, but Jennifer tries to fight back. She manages to run out of the house and hide in the forest. There she meets the local sheriff, Storch, and his friend Earl. Jennifer explains to the man that bandits have broken into her house and asks him to arrest them. Storch, armed with a shotgun, enters the house but finds no one. However, he sees empty bottles of alcohol, which makes him suspect that Jennifer came up with everything under the influence of alcohol.
What could you possibly need backup for? I'm the victim.
Ma'am, you've been drinking, smoking marijuana cigarettes.
Storch orders her to turn around and slowly approaches her to grab her by the neck. It turns out that the sheriff is in league with Johnny, which is why he will not help Jennifer. The sheriff threatens her with a gun and forces her to do his bidding. Jennifer once again tries to fight back, but her strength was too little. Johnny orders Matthew to use Jennifer or they will kill her. Matthew is completely against it. Later, the whole company left. Jennifer collects her thoughts and tries to find help. However, the men suspected that she would leave the house and set a trap in the forest, where they continued to abuse her. After everything, Jennifer gets up and leaves. The sheriff did not want to go to jail and offered to shoot Jennifer, but she jumped into the river and disappeared underwater. The group thought she would come to the surface for air, but Jennifer never showed up. Storch is confident that Jennifer may still be alive and orders the bandits to find Jennifer's body. Hours later, Jennifer had still not been found. Then Storch orders the destruction of all evidence that could give them away. He will break the videotape, and Johnny must burn the house down. Earl knows nothing about the illegal actions of the sheriff and his friends, which is why Storch personally gives him the keys, adding that Jennifer has decided to leave. Matthew was very depressed and blames himself for Jennifer's death. He even begins to hallucinate. One day, Earl called Storch. Jennifer's friend tries to find her and says she is missing. Stanley runs to his friends and admits that he did not destroy the last video, but this morning it disappeared somewhere.
Keep that tape, you stupid piece of shit!
Later in the evening, Johnny is relaxing alone at home. He hears a strange noise and goes out to inspect the area. Not seeing anyone, he thinks that his friends are trying to play a trick on him, but just in case, he takes a pistol. Going outside again, he finds Jennifer's slipper. Hearing a noise in the bushes, Johnny ran to the bush, but there was no one there, and on the ground lay rubber bands that belonged to Matthew. Storch lives an ordinary life. He has a wife and child. But someone brought his wife a gift in the form of a bouquet and a video cassette. The whole group gathers to figure out what's going on. Everyone agrees that Matthew, who could not come to terms with the death of a woman, is to blame for everything. Storch fears for his life and intends to get rid of all witnesses who could give them away to the police. He takes Earl into the woods to hunt. Earl happily agrees that it was a big mistake because he stayed in this forest forever. At this time, Jennifer deals with the most harmless victim, Matthew. Stanley and Andy walk through the woods looking for Matthew. They hear a harmonica playing and think it's Matthew. Andy checks out the abandoned house while Stanley notices Jennifer, when suddenly a man's scream comes from the forest. Stanley runs to help, but quickly falls into Jennifer's trap. When Andy came to his senses, he was already tied to the bathtub, which was filling with water, and Stanley was tied to a tree. Jennifer won't let Stanley close his eyes and ties his eyelids to hooks. After smearing Stanley's face with fish, Jennifer leaves to check on Andy. She didn't want Andy to die from suffocation, so she turned off the water and added acid to the bath. To survive, Andy must not touch the water, but fatigue took over and he fell into the bathtub. Stanley isn't doing any better. The crows came smelling the fish and ate him alive. Johnny is the next target. He did not recognize the woman and came as close as possible, because of which she quickly knocks him out. Jennifer has always wanted to become a dentist and helps Johnny get rid of tooth decay. Johnny still doesn't want to apologize for his actions and tries to threaten the woman. Then Jennifer moves on to the most severe punishment, which is why Johnny dies. Jennifer introduces herself as the new teacher and sneaks into Storch's house. The wife called her husband and asked him to return home, as the teacher wanted to meet him. When he arrived, Jennifer and her daughter were no longer at home. They went for a walk in the park. All attempts to find her daughter came to nothing. Storch gets into his car, where Jennifer is already waiting for him. A little later, Storch wakes up. He asks for forgiveness for their actions, but Jennifer cannot be stopped. She then kills Storch, thus ending her revenge. This is where the film comes to an end. Subscribe to the channel if you liked the video. Do not forget to leave your comments. See you very soon. Bye.